Oh, we just have to add a little bit of stress to our lives, you know. Otherwise,
Yeah,
otherwise you get lazy.
all right, shut up now. Let's go into this thing.
Yes, dear.
Let's see if that works. That doesn't work either. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Geeks on Tour. What does this button do? And why doesn't that work?
And we're finding new buttons all the time.
Wow, that's
Wow,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
that's cool. Yeah,
All right.
you're in magnifying mode. I think that
Okay.
a button on your mouse.
All right. Well,
There
you're
you
on,
are. There you are.
but that's not where I want to be.
Ah, you want to be sharing your screen. Ah,
Yeah.
let's see
You
if.
talk for a minute. We're on live. Go
Oh,
ahead. Talk to him.
okay,
Let
okay.
me fool around over here. Look at your camera. Smile.
I'm smiling. And we have some people watching. If I'm looking at the comments, if somebody could just post and say whether they're seeing us and hearing us okay. That always feels good. And you realize this is only the first time in our 12 episodes of this that we are broadcasting from the same place that we were last week. No wonder we're tired. We have been moving every single week. So right now, we are still in San Luis Obispo. We will be driving tomorrow, but only going, I think, 30 miles to Pismo Beach, where we will be for a road trek rally. Really looking forward to that. Pismo Beach is a great area. I understand this RV park is right on the ocean, and we have been to road trek rallies before, and it's a great bunch of people. We'll be giving our seminars, and after that, we'll be headed down towards Santa Barbara way. And I don't see any comments yet from anybody, but sometimes it takes a while. So I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay.
So you want me just to go straight into the beginner lesson? Okay.
Yes,
Let
please.
me see how sharing my screen is, if it's working all right. Okay. So you should now be seeing the screen. And what I want to talk to you about today is how to deal with a lost iPad, iPhone, or a lost Android device. So what I'm talking about, oops, I wanted to come back to here for a second and not be sharing my screen. There, okay, so we're back to seeing me. So here is my iPad mini, and it's in my hot little hands, but what if it wasn't? I say, I can't find my iPad. I'm just going to put it over here in a closet and say, I've lost my iPad. I can't find it. What do I do? What I do is go to the iCloud website and log in with my account, and it should tell me where it is. So I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to back up and show you what makes that work. So I'm going to my screen, and I go to the iCloud.com website. And I was already logged in, but I want to show you because I've been playing with this morning, obviously. So iCloud.com. Then you need to know your Apple ID and password. I do. And you sign in. And you should see this cute little button, Find My iPhone, along with a bunch of other stuff. And these are all part of iCloud, and they get synchronized with your devices. That'll be the subject for another episode of What Does This Button Do? But okay, so what does this button do? I'll just click on Find My iPhone. And I get a map. And it says, there it is, right there. I'm going to zoom out so you can see where that is. And it says, well, why do you want to zoom out? You want to zoom in and see exactly where it is. Well, San Luis Cemetery, we are right here in San Luis Obispo, and that green dot is telling me where my iPad is. Or is it? Is it telling me where something else is? I can click on all devices and notice that there's Chris's iPad. This is my old iPad, which is offline, and this is my Mac, my iMac, the big computer. So somebody wrote a question in the comments about, can this find my MacBook Pro? Yes, absolutely, as long as you do the setup work, and that's what I'll go show you next. I'm not going to show you the setup on the iMac, but in iMac, you go to your iCloud system preferences, and all you have to do is turn it on. I am going to show you how to do that on the iPad. But what else could you do? I see that my iPad is right where I am. So meaning it hasn't been stolen. I didn't leave it at the airport. It's here somewhere. How can I find it? Well, how about one of these buttons? Is it here? Nope, it's the one over here. Well, tell me what I can do to, so I say, this is what I want, and will you please all right, where to go? There is there is a way in here to tell it to ring. Ring my iPhone. Ring, make it ring. And I just did this last night. Anybody know what this button does? Or why it doesn't do what it did the last time I was in here?
Oh,
okay, I'm going to go into help. That's what we teach other people to do. Oh, I know. It was this. We are having a little bit of internet connection issues this morning, so I'm going to blame it on that. All right, so here, play a sound on your device. So I sign in to iCloud. I click on all devices and select the device, and then I'm supposed to see a button that says play sound. And that's what I'm not seeing. Let me see if I just go into a different, there. It just finally popped up. This is what I expected to see. But that was a good lesson, really. Help. Always go to help. If things aren't working the way you expect, go to help and read up on it. So I'm going to click on play sound. And I don't know if it's loud enough for you to hear, but I hear a ringing coming from the bedroom.
I can hear it. Maybe if you brought, oh, I hear it now, for sure.
Okay. And there it is. Yay. So now it's somewhere it says to make it stop sounding, I can just press the power button. And by the way, that sound will ring even if your device has the ringer turned off. That will override. The play sound on Find My iPad or Find My iPhone or Find My Mac will override. All right, now, what if instead of you finding that it's just in another part of the house, you see that, oh, this is in Chicago and I'm in California, so somebody did steal it. And you're afraid that they might access stuff on it. What you can do is click Erase this iPad. I am certainly not going to do that. I don't want to erase my iPad. But if you click that, it will wipe
Oh,
it.
go ahead. That'll be fun. Come on.
That will wipe it clean. And one thing that we learned, we actually went to the Apple store in San Luis Obispo this week, and we took ourselves an iCloud class. It was great fun to take a class for a change. And I confirmed then what I thought I had learned, that if you click Erase iPad, it will not synchronize that erasing to your other devices. I mean, the way iCloud works, it keeps all your devices in sync. So I was afraid that if I erase stuff from the iPad, that it would erase it from the Mac and from the iPhone. Well, not if you use this. This actually does a factory reset, so there's nothing to synchronize. Okay, if anybody has questions on that, maybe write them in the... Have you seen any comments, Jim?
Yes, there are
Oh,
comments
okay.
and things are happening. People are
Okay,
on.
good. Okay, good. Then I'll turn
I'm much happier now.
Do you want to say anything about the issues that you were having? No?
No,
Okay.
I don't want to say anything about when anything's
Just
going on because I don't have a clue.
just want to knock on wood that it's working now. Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be working.
So that is Find My iPad. Oh, I have to show it to you on the iPad. Okay. So then what do you do to turn that feature on? I mean, if you all go to iCloud.com right now and try to find your iPad and it just says, I don't know what you're talking about, that's because you haven't turned the setting on your device. So that's what I'm going to show you now. Alrighty. So here we are at my iPad that I've just found. So, oh, now you know my password. And, or maybe you don't. Maybe I don't. All right. It said Find My iPad Alert. So if it had been in somebody else's hands when you got it back, if you see that Find My iPad Alert, it means somebody else had been looking for it. So what you do is go into Settings, and it is a security setting. It's under iCloud. So this is something that iCloud is taken care of. So you go into iCloud and Find My iPad, turn it on. That's all you have to do. But it does come off by default. I'm going to cancel and leave it on. It comes off by default, so you have to go in there, find that option, and turn it on. Okay. Now for the Android, and I'm going to go back to, so same thing. Here is my phone, but it's an Android phone. It is not an iPhone. So if I lost this, so same thing. I'm going to say, here's my phone. I like to have it with me at all times, but it's not in my pocket. I can't find it. I'm just going to stick it in the closet back here. And now, how do I find it? Instead of iCloud, what I want to do is go to google.com/Android/device manager. And once again, you have to know your Google username and password. It's coming up with my username, so I need to know my password. Hopefully I do. And I sign in. And same idea. I get a map. It's taking a minute to locate my device. Now, one question people have is, what if by this time your device has powered off? You know, its battery has died. Well, yeah, it's not going to be accurate then. It's going to show you the last location where it was on and online. And this is taking a minute. Location unavailable. Oh, that's of my Galaxy tablet. Okay, I'm looking for my Galaxy phone. And my tablet is off, but it still should have found the last known location. All right, so here is my Galaxy S5, and it says that it's in the same place. So same thing, I can tell it to ring. Your device will ring at full volume for 5 minutes. Press the power button to stop it. I bet you hear that. All right, so you do hear that, right?
I do hear that, yes.
I'm going to press the power button to stop it. And
Good idea.
Same thing, I can lock it. This gives me the option to lock or erase. So erase does the same thing. If I see that no, indeed, this is in Timbuktu somewhere, I can wipe the phone so that it's of no good to anybody. Or I can just change the password on it. In case I think that somebody may have guessed my old password, I can change it to a new password. So the second thing you need to know is, how do you make this work? How do you set this up? So I'm going to switch. All right. Working on it. There we go. So on the phone, you need to go into the settings and find the settings to turn this on an Android. Now, this setting has only been around for, I don't know, a year or so. So you may have read that you need to download an app, but no, not anymore. The Android stock system comes with this setting. So now I'm going to go back to the... So here is my Android phone. And there, it's in focus. I drag down to get to settings. And it is one of the device settings. Notice they have categories here. The device and... I lied. It's... All right, why didn't I write this down? Security, yeah, I'm sorry. Under personal and security, and then it's called device administrators. Remember, what was the name of the website that I went to look this up? google.com/android/device manager. So to use the device manager, you must go into device administrators and check that box. That's all you have to do. Now, what's this other one? This is a Samsung thing. And that might be fine, but I like to show the Android stock systems because everybody who has an Android has it. Okay. Do we have any questions, Tim?
Whoops. Somebody asked,
what does this button do? I like that. What does the lost button do? Lost mode button. Okay. I don't know. Is that on Apple or Android?
I think it was for the Apple.
Okay. Lost mode. I good question. I would have to look that up and check for sure, but
Two people asked that question.
okay. Then I will look it up while you do your app of the week, unless there's another one that says, what does the lost mode do? Okay, now wait a minute. That's David, and he has Android. So, all right. But I'm afraid I don't know. But I will look it up while Jim is showing you his app of the week. Oh, or whatever he wants to show you.
Oh man, it's been a great morning. Anyway, you gotta laugh. I wonder if someday smartphones will be smarter than us, and then the smartphone is thinking, "What do you mean someday?"
Ain't it the truth?
Let's see. What's new? Apple's announcements. There have been the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus, so 4.7 inches and 5.5 inches. They've also announced a new operating system, the iOS 8, that'll probably be rolled out just before they actually ship the iPhones. And Apple Watches will be available next year, early in 2015, and Apple Pay. So Apple just went crazy this past week, announcing all sorts of new things that are going to happen, and it's important. So we have all that stuff. Earthquake alert is, and we've seen populated regions around the world, and we were near the one that hit Napa, California, just a couple of weeks ago. There are control centers that monitor seismic activity, and they're located all around the world. They communicate with each other, and that information is made public. And there have been some design apps that read that information from the centers and give alerts for earthquakes and tsunamis. So my app of the week for the Android is Earthquake Alert, and it's a download. It's a free for Android, and these are some of the screenshots. So when you open it up, you get the latest information. You can also locate those earthquakes on a map. I'll notice that here on the map is Oklahoma City. There have been a lot of earthquakes just north of Oklahoma City, and people are actually blaming this on the fracking, the natural gas industry. The natural gas industry obviously says no, we don't have anything to do with that, but it sure is a little bit suspicious. And then the other thing, there's news. There's all kinds of news information on there. Now this app is ad supported. That's why men need more testosterone. I don't think that's true, but they do. So, and then Quake Feed is the free app for the Apple devices, the iPads and the iPhones. And this is a little prettier. I think it's another free app, and it shows in different levels of earthquakes that are out there, the earthquake maps. It also makes a really nice line for the fault lines, and it shows you where they are in the world. And that is my app of the week. So Quake Feed and Earthquake Alert. Chris has a phone call coming in. That's probably important too. You better take that.
I just hung up on it.
Okay.
All right. Well, I found information on the lost mode, and I of course can't get it. That is just the locking. So it apparently was one of those buttons that showed up on the screen, and I wasn't even. Yeah, it was related to Apple. Oh, okay. Okay. So when I was on the Find My Android screen, I mentioned the third option, which was to change your lock code. The lost mode on the Apple is that same thing. You can both change your lock code, and this is kind of cool, you can display a message. So if you think you just left it at a restaurant, you can tell your iPad or iPhone to lock itself and display a message. Say, if found, please call, and of course, give another number. So that's what lost mode is. You know, you're saying, hey, iPhone, you're lost, so lock yourself and display a message in case you're found. Pretty cool.
All right.
Now we had
Okay.
another. Yeah. Any
What?
other questions?
Well, I see a user question here. I still have my old dumb phone. Explain this data plan to me, and what is an iPad?
Well, that question came in during the week, and I just thought it was so perfect because this week, while we're in San Luis Obispo, I am visiting an old friend who does not have a smartphone. She has not entered the mobile world of the 21st century, and she wants to, but she's a little afraid. She has her flip phone that she likes very much, and I'm afraid to take that away from her. So what I did, we went shopping, and we found a tablet that you could get its own data plan, and she had the same question. What is a data plan? I'm going to try to explain a little bit, especially for the person who wrote the question. The person who wrote the question said that they have a MiFi device. This is a MiFi. It comes from Verizon. All you do is turn it on, and it is now a Wi-Fi hotspot, which your computer can connect to. And that has a service plan from Verizon, right? That is called a data plan. Now, imagine that this device could be inside your computer. Then your computer would have to have a data service plan. So that's what a data plan is. And same thing with a tablet. So let's say that this tablet was Wi-Fi only. That means you would have to have some other device like this in order for this to connect to the internet. But if you could get the internet device built into it, then that is what the data plan is for. So what I ended up doing is we went to the Verizon store, and they had a special on this little tablet called the LG G Pad, and for just $100, you know, with a 2-year data plan. So meaning that tablet has its own internet connection. So in this way, she gets to keep her flip phone that she's comfortable with and also get into the mobile world. She can keep her calendar, do her email, do Skype calls, all with this tablet. And by the way, I thought this tablet was so cool that I did a little video on that. So if you go to geeksontour.com and click on our YouTube channel, the most recent video will be on that LG G Pad tablet, and I think that's really great. So the second question is, what is an iPad? This is an iPad. And a tablet, though. Some people call all tablets iPads. No, you need to. It's only an iPad if it has the Apple logo on the back. That is Apple's tablet entry. Since they were the first one, they just kind of like Kleenex, they became known as the name that applies to the whole genre. Okay.
And this is my Nexus phone. I mean, my Nexus tablet. So how confusing can that be? That's crazy.
Which looks just like this one, except for it doesn't have the Apple on the back.
Right. Okay. Another episode might cover how to keep a list of logins and passwords so when someone loses their device, they can find the list. And somebody else said, does that work with iKeys? No, you can't find your keys with that Find Find My Phone thing.
But have you noticed there is a new device out now that will go on a key ring that's just, about the size of a quarter that does the same thing.
Yeah?
I forget what it's called. We'll have to find that and put it in the notes.
Okay, we'll try and do that then. All right, let's get into our
Review.
review. And well, did you learn something? I learned to start a lot earlier. Where do you find the Apple setting to turn on the Find My iPhone?
All right. Well, and one thing that's really nice in Apple, all the settings are under the Settings button. So you go under Settings, and then it's in the iCloud settings.
Okay. Now, if your iPad or iPhone is missing, what website do you use to find it?
That's iCloud.com.
Okay. And where do you find the Android settings to turn on the locator service?
It's called Device Manager, and it's in the security area of your Android of the system settings under security, Device Manager. Or Device Administrator. Did I say it wrong? In some places it's called Administrator, in some places it's called Manager.
Okay. And what is the name of the Android app that shows recent earthquakes?
All right, wait, you skipped one. If your Android device is missing, what website do you use to find it? That's google.com/android/device manager. All right, now this next, so the next one is for you. What's that earthquake app? And I think that's cool. I mean, if you don't like earthquakes, then maybe we won't travel in the areas where it has a whole bunch of them, like we just did.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, isn't it? So yeah, for the earthquake one, it's just earthquake alert for the Android. And what was the one for the now? Oh God.
Well, we will put it in the show notes, or maybe in the Which brings me to the last question. What benefit do you get by being a Geeks on Tour member? I would like to share my screen and take you to the geeksontour.com. I mean, these weekly shows that we do are all free, and we will keep them free on YouTube. But if you are a Geeks on Tour
I got it.
member,
it's Quake Feed for the Apple. Okay, Quake Feed.
Okay. If you're a Geeks on Tour member and you go to Weekly Show, so I just went to geeksontour.com, I clicked on Weekly Show, and down at the bottom here, there is a complete listing of all the shows, including a couple notes on what was covered. And if you click on episode 11, for example, then you can, I'm going to read this. Here's episode 11. There are show notes below the video which document what was covered and include timeline links. You can watch just what you want. If you are not a Geeks on Tour member, just click this link. It takes you to YouTube and you can watch the whole show. But if you are, you can log in, and then you will see the show, but then there's the show notes below. And it's just taking a minute. Someday, won't it be nice when someday we all have 100 megabit internet connections and things just zip? So here's what the show notes look like. For example, if you don't have an Apple device, maybe you don't want to watch that part. You want to skip right to the Android part of the beginner's lesson. You can do that just by clicking there. That'll take you to the video at that spot. And if you were just trying to remember what the app of the week was by Jim, you don't necessarily even have to watch it. We put the links to the apps in these show notes. So that's what you get as a benefit for being a member. And if you're not a member, you can do it right there and earn our gratitude because we are member supported.
Okay. Well, next week you're going to have a beginner's lesson, right? Do you know what that is yet?
Oh, now I wrote down that we were going to do, what did I say? Note taking. Note taking. But it's kind of, I can't wait too long before we do Google Maps, too. But note taking is a huge topic. There are so many different apps for taking notes. So it might have to be a multi-episode. But we'll start on it. We'll give an overview of note taking next week.
Okay, I'll have an app of the week. We might start on Evernote too. I'm not sure. And then we'll take your questions. Hopefully, we'll be able to get the comments in properly and just keep your eyes open for you. Okay?
Okay. It's been fun.
It sure has. And let's see if we can get this going. All right. Here we go. So, oh boy. Thanks for watching, everyone. It's been a great time. We'll see you next week on episode 13 of What Does This Button Do? Chris, what do you think?
What does this button do?